Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Golden Syrup Gaming Show, featuring me as always and my co-host Thatcher.
Thatcher?
Thought you'd say that.
Okay.
No, I was trying to think of a name. Thatcher was the first name that came out, and I thought it's quite funny.
I was going to call you McVitie, but that's just because I've just finished some caramel digestives.
I like it. It sounds quite like a posh Scottish.
Thatcher and McVitie.
I like
a regional detective series based in Wales.
No, in Scotland.
Right.
So how are you? How you doing, Thatcher?
Not too bad, aye.
Closed any mines recently?
I can't say that I have.
But you'd like to, wouldn't you?
Love to. Well, like, closing mines is very popular these days, what with the global warming and such. People don't want coal mines. Thatcher would be very popular these days.
Mrs. Thatcher?
Mrs. Thatcher. Not.
Wow.
Thatcher's the cloudy cider. I think there's maybe a cider called Thatcher's. Anyway, that's a bit of a digression. How are you?
I'm good. We're snowed in here in Wales. There must be a foot of snow outside.
I'd say it's a foot and a bit.
2 foot of snow at least.
Almost 2 foot of snow. It's inconvenient but pretty.
Had to get you to drive me to the chemist today to get my prescription, because I didn't think I would make it in my wee car.
I think it was just because you didn't want to risk it. Have me taking all the risk.
I just thought, is a van's better because it's heavier?
Yeah.
Is that not the fact?
And you're higher up, so you're like, yeah, it's just better.
So that's why I wanted to go in your van.
So we've got the fire on, it's snowing outside, it's all very...
Got the prescription?
Got the prescription. We're kind of living the dream, aren't we?
And got your computer recording us.
Absolutely.
You could probably hear that at home.
Yeah, it's marketed as being silent, but it's not.
Maybe you could clean the fan or something.
I know I did fairly recently, and I think like the processor fan wasn't mounted properly and probably hadn't been for ages. So I've done all that. It's got a new power supply in it, which has got a whole new fan and everything. So yeah,
my Mac was making an awful noise the whole time I've been here, and you can twist the bottom off, and it was thick with I don't know how you describe it. A thick grime.
Yeah. A thick...
Like, you know, like, have you ever looked inside a computer keyboard?
Yeah, the kind of finger fist that
it's disgusting.
Yeah. So that's what it was like, was it?
It had a ring of that all the way around, so I cleaned all that off. And I ate it. No, I cleaned it off, and now it's silent. It is literally silent most of the time. And I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. I just thought it was a bad computer.
Yeah.
But no, that made a big difference. But that's not helped yours.
Well, I mean, there's also the fact that where it is at the moment, it's right up against a pane of glass, so it's probably not venting properly. Like, just nothing about where it is and how it's set up at the moment is ideal. But we'll press on.
Okay, well, on to the news. The video gaming news. We can't talk about noisy computers all night.
No, that's
as much as I would like to.
Yeah, I'm sure our listener would love that as well.
Go
speaking of which, apparently we've got listeners in Israel. I found out recently, so hiya.
Hello to the listeners in Israel.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. I was looking at the stats for the podcast.
Yeah, but we're
there
spread
didn't seem
out.
to be any sign in Israel. But maybe they're listening on YouTube.
Yeah, there's no way we can get accurate metrics, I don't think. But I have been reliably informed we have a small but enthusiastic listener base in Israel.
Do they have video games in Israel?
I mean, I would imagine so. We've got electricity. We'll cut this bit out.
Okay. On to the news. So the first bit of news I wanted to talk about is Super Nintendo World. Have you seen this?
I saw like a little, like, because I didn't watch the Nintendo Direct about it because I heard there was a Nintendo Direct, got excited, and then saw it was a Nintendo Direct about a theme park that I'm never going to be able to visit, and then got less excited and didn't watch it. But subsequent snippets that I've seen, it looks amazing. Like, it like genuinely looks like the most fun place you could possibly visit.
They've recreated the world of Mario pretty well.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah.
How are you never going to be able to go to it?
Well, it's in Japan, isn't it?
Well, first one's in Japan, but they've already most of the way through making the one in America at Universal. So,
well,
you've been to Florida before
I
with
have.
your parents, haven't you?
And I don't think I would ever go back there.
You would never return to Florida?
Never return to Florida.
Why is that?
Because it's a fucking swampy hellhole. And a
swampy hellhole?
Swampy hellhole.
You don't deal with the heat well? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, like, I just, like, nothing about it other than the theme parks was, like, appealing, like, like, it's not, like, a very nice, it wouldn't be, like, a nice place to...
It's not nice, Florida.
I don't think it's a very nice place to, like, I wouldn't like to live there. It just all seemed very artificial, like, the whole place just seemed built for the benefit of tourists. And
when I went there, I felt like I was going inside the television.
Yeah. And then, like, now, obviously, there's even less reason to go, isn't there? Because of
COVID.
current events.
Just say it.
Right.
Just don't be afraid to say it.
I suppose we don't have to worry about...
We're not monetised.
We don't have to worry about getting demonetised.
COVID.
Yeah. I forgot what we were talking about.
No, I was saying, why are you never going to go to Super Nintendo World?
Mainly because I'd probably never be able to afford it. But
wait, is it Land or World?
Eh?
Is it Super Nintendo Land or World?
Super Nintendo World.
World.
I think it's World.
Because they've got a Mario Kart ride there. Have you seen that?
I think I saw a little bit.
Real life Mario Kart ride.
Yeah.
So there's 4 of you are in the car. Everyone's got a steering wheel.
In the one car?
Aye. Because it's a ride. It's not actual Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So everyone's got a steering wheel in the one car. As unrealistic as that may be, you've got a big button in the middle of the steering wheel to shoot your items. Exactly. Then you're wearing AR glasses.
Oh, cool.
Do you know what AR is, Thatcher?
It's augmented reality,
Exactly.
if I'm not mistaken.
So you're still seeing real life, but there's extra elements floating about. So it's recreating all the different courses from Mario Kart in real life. I mean, it couldn't be more exciting. I couldn't be more excited if you tried.
Am I right in thinking they're doing a virtual tour at some point?
I think that's already up.
Is that already up?
I don't think it includes the ride.
No, of course not.
So that sounds amazing. Then there's a Yoshi ride where you all sit on the back of a Yoshi and it goes through. Don't yawn.
Is it wool based?
It's not wool Yoshi. It's plastic.
I'm
Yoshi.
surprised you're still as enthusiastic as you are, given
You've got to take what you're
the
given.
absence of wool.
Well, a Super Nintendo theme park is a dream come true for me since being a child. Like, you go to Disney World, and yes, it's great, but I'm not really interested in Peter Pan or Dumbo or Frozen.
But a Nintendo-themed
I-
world.
I'm literally a fan of Nintendo.
Yeah.
So a Super Nintendo world. Seeing the Nintendo Direct you talked about, where Shigeru Miyamoto was walking through the Super Nintendo world.
Call him Miyamoto-san.
There's question mark blocks that you could physically punch above your head.
Aye.
Aye. And seeing him, and you can go underground in it, like an underground bit that's like level 1, 2 of Mario.
Aye.
And then you go down there, you're punching a block, it's making the noise. And then presumably somebody pops up and washes it with like a cloth so there's no germs passed on.
Yeah. And do you think that they're covered for liability for people like breaking their wrists from like...
Well, I wondered how that works, but I
punching.
guess it's really soft.
Like punching a cloud of
But it
candy
does
floss.
look like a normal question mark block. You also get a wristband. That's an upcharge. That's what they call it at theme parks, which means you have to buy it separately. It's not included in the cost.
Right.
But for an extra 10, 20 quid or whatever, you get a wristband. You can choose different ones. One's a mushroom, one's a peach. I don't know, I can't remember, but you get the idea. And the whole time you're in Nintendo World, you're playing a game. And at some point you get to team up and fight a boss.
Huh?
I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it involves the wristband. So that's an extra level of excitement and interaction.
That does sound interesting.
Then there's like a cafe where it's like like Toad Cafe, and they have like screens up at the counter. It's like screens, so it's made to look like the toads are like cooking your food behind the counter. It's so cute, and I mean, I don't think it has the Donkey Kong ride. There's different versions of the land that has more or less stuff. I don't know if it's the one in America that's going to have the Donkey Kong ride as well. But I mean, I'd love to go to Japan at some point, so to go there as well would be cool. But I would definitely settle for going to Florida, even though you described it as swampy.
A swampy hellhole.
A swampy hellhole. I thought it was fine.
An artifice.
I had the worst migraine I've ever had when I was in Florida. I think migraines are directly related to pressure.
Yeah.
Like the change of the seasons, I get bad migraines, and the humidity. And when I was in Florida, because it's such a swampy hellhole, I think that was bad for my migraines.
Yeah.
So I can imagine when I die, if I end up going to actual hell, that's not going to be good for my migraines.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
So maybe I should take some medication with me.
Yeah.
If I do die, could you chuck some Nurofen in my casket?
We'll do some antihistamines maybe.
So
when I was in Florida, we all went to an all-you-can-eat buffet one night, and it was like my little brother. He filled his plate with like all this stuff, and he even had like ham, but he'd also got like jelly as well, and put it on the same plate. Like literally put it on his ham, so like his ham was stained green with jelly, and then he ate it all, and then later on I went to the bathroom, and my little brother was in one of the cubicles, and instead of like throwing up into the toilet, he was sitting on the toilet, throwing up onto the floor, and all you seen was just this massive growing puddle of brown vomit covering the whole bathroom. It's just spread out everywhere. It was the most horrible thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, man.
And there's bits of ham and jelly and that in there. And that's what I associate with Florida, that brown, hideous substance flowing out of a toilet cubicle.
it's all you can eat. He's gone past that point.
Yeah.
It's not called more than you can eat.
Yeah. And you don't have to have it all on the one plate as well, which I don't think he really understood.
How old was he?
I can't remember. I was 20, so he would
Old
have been,
enough to know better.
Exactly, like 11 or 12 or something.
Well, he's not invited to the Super Nintendo World. I mean, he probably wouldn't be interested.
No,
Probably rather go to... I mean, I don't know what brother we're talking about.
it's Games North.
We'd rather go to... Is there not like a World of Warcraft theme park? In like
Probably.
China or something?
Yeah.
Like it's a bootleg one. So, have I convinced you to go to Super Nintendo World?
Yes.
Good. Let's book the flights.
Let's do it.
On to our next news topic, Thatcher, and that is the imminent release of Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, I've got it pre-ordered, due on Friday, but obviously with weather conditions being the way they are, it's unclear as to whether or not it'll arrive in physical form.
That's why digital's always about a bit. So this is the re-release of the Wii U game, full title.
Super Mario 3D World.
Exactly. And I played it back then on the Wii U, and I've been trying to get you to play it for years, because I think it's a lovely game. And finally you're going to get that pleasure. But are you going to be distracted by the Bowser's Fury element?
I might give that a crack first to just get that out the way, but people have sort of early reviews are in at the moment, and people are speaking very highly of it, saying that it's really good.
Of it all, or of Bowser's Fury?
Well, just like the whole thing, but
full package.
Yeah, but I mean specifically Bowser's Fury has been really well received. It's been described as like possibly the shape of like future 3D Mario and how it's structured and stuff.
How so?
Just like it seems to be more kind of, as opposed to like the map being more of a hub for different levels, where you know what I mean, go through, like it's like meant to be one kind of open space, and like every kind of level, if you like, is kind of embedded within it.
So
it's not,
was Odyssey like that?
Kind of, but it wasn't really like there was
No,
levels, was there?
I'm just trying to remember. I can't remember.
Like, was it
still just like each place was a hub and then you went into different levels?
There wasn't really levels, was there? I can't really
I
remember.
don't know. I can't remember.
It's like 3 years ago. But I mean, it has been compared to like Odyssey.
But you're saying that it's the shape of Mario for the future?
Yeah.
But is it different to Odyssey?
Yeah, it seems to be, insofar as like the levels that you would normally find, say, within a painting or some kind of, do you know what I mean? Like in Mario Sunshine, it'd be like the M's on the wall you would go in. It's like, instead of it being like that, it's just there within the level. Whereas Mario Odyssey, it was more kind of just like a kind of open area with a bunch of stars kicking about it, and you could collect them. I don't really remember there being like a lot of like isolated level bits. You know what I mean? There was that, but I know it's.
So did I hear them complaining about the online multiplayer, saying that was shit somehow?
I think there was some chat that the online multiplayer wasn't quite as...
Not a problem for us, because we can play at couch co-op.
Aye. Well, we could have done it if you'd pre-ordered it.
I don't need it. You've got it.
Aye, but then we could have played it on our individual Switches.
I mean, I've got the money, but how much is it?
Like 50 quid or something.
If it was 40...
50
quid for a game I already own.
But it runs fast, like it's faster.
It's faster.
And it's got the Bowser's Fury.
Now I'm tempted. Well, I'll find out next time if I got it or not. But I would rather just play yours.
Yeah.
That would be cheaper.
And because I've ordered it physically, you could even have a shot of it in your Switch at points, because that's how versatile physical games are.
If it arrives.
If it arrives.
'Cause that's the downside of physical games.
My copy of Little Nightmares 2 has been delayed until Friday.
Has
I've
it?
been notified, aye.
Yeah. Digital future. I've already got Little Nightmares 2 downloaded and ready to go on my Switch because I got it digitally. But that's a great, what's the word for it? Segue into our next subject, which is what we've both been playing, a little game called Little Nightmares.
Oh, you've been playing
the game.
I played the first one a couple of years ago.
I played it a couple of years ago as well, but I was right at the end and I just had to play literally the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was me that told you to get it in the first place.
Yeah. I got it on a deep sale around, it was like sort of end of 2019 and I couldn't put it down. It was brilliant. What did you think of it, McVitie?
I hated it. No, why don't you tell our listeners a quick synopsis of what the game is?
It's like it's a kind of 3D puzzle platformy horror game of sorts with a very distinctive art style, isn't it? It's kind of like quite childlike. I mean, some folk have compared it to Tim Burton's kind of stuff, but say it's like definitely a bit more twisted than that. I can see the comparison, like, but it's just like
just anything that's like a childish or like a kind of kids cartoon, but it's dark. Folk just say it's Tim Burton.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a monopoly on that, but you could see what people are suggesting.
And it was a short but sweet little game that
I've not seen A Nightmare Before Christmas.
You know, I didn't like it. I thought I thought all the songs were rubbish.
Yeah, well, I tried to watch it recently. I don't know if I tried to watch it. I just stuck it on to see if I would like it, and it was the singing. I was no.
Don't get me wrong. I do love a good musical these days. I've definitely grown to appreciate a good musical.
You're backtracking now.
But that's a cat. But A Nightmare Before Christmas, I found the music quite cringy.
Sometimes when people sing, I just feel like saying, please, don't sing.
It sounds bad.
It sounds bad.
But anyway, we've digressed. But we're talking about Little Nightmares.
Yeah, but imagine if there was singing in Little Nightmares. It would ruin it.
Yeah, that'd be an instant turn-off.
So there you go.
But that's because it's a game and not a piece of musical theatre.
If Tim Burton had made Little Nightmares in conjunction with Disney, he'd probably have singing in it, wouldn't he?
And Johnny Depp would be in it, and Helena Bonham Carter, and it'd probably be rubbish.
I wouldn't be at that point. I wouldn't be interested in this game
because Tim Burton hasn't made a good film
or game.
Well, he's never made a good game or a game ever.
Has he not?
I don't think so.
Maybe he should.
But he certainly hasn't made a good film in recent memory.
He could make a game and then people could say, this game is Tim Burton-esque. Unless he made it like Mario.
Yeah.
And not Tim Burton-esque. I bet that's really what he would like to do, Tim Burton. He would like to do something different that's not Tim Burton-esque.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he certainly could do it. I think he's just
it's not what people
bankrupt.
Want. I don't think that's what people want. It doesn't really matter what the artist wants. It's the money people. They want another one of the same thing again that made the money. They want another Nightmare Before Christmas. Anyway, Little Nightmares.
Yeah.
Is it a survival horror game?
I wouldn't class it as that, but it definitely like there's bits of it that evoke a survival horror aesthetic.
It does have fixed camera angles,
yeah,
which is something that you seem to want.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have tank controls because it's pretty much a side scroller.
Yeah, but you can kind of obviously move in 3-dimensional space.
Much like Mario 3D World.
And it has kind of, the controls are a bit kind of sluggish.
Shit, aye.
Yeah.
So that's like a
restrictive.
survival
So
horror.
yeah, exactly. It does have that kind of, that comparison. But I was genuinely, like, I hold it up. If we were doing this podcast in 2019 and we had like our game of the year, that would have been my game of the year or like certainly one of them for 2019. I absolutely loved it.
I didn't realise when I was playing it, but it is basically just Limbo.
Aye.
Or Inside.
Yeah, it's similar, isn't it? Folk have been comparing it to, like the other cinematic platformers like Flashback and the other one, Another World.
It's more like Limbo.
Aye, but Limbo in and of itself is like those games.
I mean, it's not a comparison I've ever made, but I can see what you're going for there. But the thing is, I enjoyed Little Nightmares a lot more than I enjoyed Limbo or Inside, or maybe even Flash. Nah,
I mean,
Flashback.
I never finished Limbo. I am going to get Inside. I was going to get it fairly recently, but I missed the sale. It was down to a few quid.
I thought I would like it. I thought I'd love it, but it didn't click with me for whatever reason.
Aye,
All these games are similar in that I do tend to get stuck. You just have to try and work out what to do next, and I tend to be too stupid to be able to figure that out, and I have to watch a walkthrough or something.
Well, one of the sort of main criticisms, if you like, it's been generally Little Nightmares 2 in recent reviews has been getting very well received. The criticisms are pretty much the same as what the first one got, in that it's a lot of trial and error. You know, you're kind of expected to die quite a lot and figure out what you're actually supposed to be doing, and that can be a bit off-putting for people. And bits that are initially quite tense and exciting become quite tiresome and repetitive when you've got to keep doing it over and over again.
Especially with the load times on the Switch with the first game.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But apparently that's been fixed for the sequel.
Yeah.
So that might make that not so much of a problem. I just, at some point with Inside, I just kept not knowing what I was meant to be doing, and then I would look at a video to see what I was doing, and then I would do it, and I thought I'd be as well just watching the video of the guy playing it, because, you know what I mean, there's not... But with Little Nightmares, it didn't feel like that, because the art style, the music, everything about it, apart from the gameplay, I think, was what kept me going. I mean, the gameplay wasn't particularly exciting, but
it's not terrible though, you know.
It wasn't bad. But it was probably the best thing about it was the atmosphere and the art style and the music. And
it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like the art style, like the animations for all the characters and stuff are just so, like, I don't want to say lifelike, because it's not. It's kind of surreal, but it's just like it looks incredible. Like it has to really kind of be seen to be believed. And even on the Switch, when it's that bit blurrier, it still looks really, really impressive.
Because it's quite dark and foggy, then I think that's why you get away with it.
Like, if anything, it adds to it a little bit. You know, the kind of
it's got that PS1 low res scare.
But are we allowed to talk spoilers? Do you want to talk spoilers? We don't usually, but...
Well, yeah, go for it. Spoiler warning.
I loved the ending. The ending is one of my favourite bits of the game, like, where you're basically, like, you spend the whole game completely disempowered, like, you're fucked, basically, and then at the end, but once you've beaten the geisha lady, do you not, like, eat out her heart or something, and then you're totally...
Break her neck.
Is that what you... I
think he goes up and, like, breaks her neck.
And then all of a sudden you've got, like, mad powers, and then you're blowing everybody up as you leave. I thought it was just amazing. And then...
Comes out... You're on, like, an island.
It's
and
a
like
ship. You're on a ship. This big fucking horrible ship.
But is that not the DLC?
No, it's all set in the same place. The DLC is set in the same place. I was going to spoil it for you, but
You were going to spoil the DLC.
Yeah, but
just when he came out, it looked like it was like a lighthouse on a ship, on a island, but it's just, that's the ship.
So, like, remember when you you won't remember this, because, like, there's a couple of... So when you started the game, if you've got... you can pick one of two characters when you start, because if you've got the complete edition, you pick Six, who's the main character in the yellow raincoat, and then when you start, there's another kid that you can pick once you've got the DLC, and their kind of stories intertwine at a couple of key points. And there's one point where, like, I just wish you could remember the bit, because I'd asked you about it. I was like, do you remember the bit where you're starving and then this little gnome tries to give you a sausage, and then instead of eating the sausage you eat the gnome, and it's quite horrific? Like, that bit has a lot more significance when you play the DLC.
Those wee gnome guys sort of appear at the end as well.
Yeah. You find out what they are and stuff.
I've not got a clue what's going on, and I was just enjoying the atmosphere.
Yeah, it's great.
But the DLC explains more about what's actually going on.
Not really, but it's just...
So, I mean, what is going on? Because we're spoilers anyway, so... Well, what is this game about?
Well, you're basically like a child trying to escape this place where it seems to be some kind of, like, ship, this giant ship. It's called the Maw, and... Your Maw. And it's all these, like, people seem to be coming onto this ship to eat children or something. And, like, there's, these, like, horrible-looking chefs that seem to be cooking children into sausages and that. And it's fucking horrific. Like, it genuinely is really disturbing.
I really didn't have a clue what was going on the whole time, like. But I knew I was in fear for my life from these big... but so it's a ship where you can go and eat children.
That's what it seemed to be like. There's points where you kind of you get outside briefly and you see, like, all these people piling on and that, and and then they're in the kitchen and they're all eating these sausages, and it all seems to be like a whole child eating.
Yeah, I remember the bit where you're escaping through the kitchen and you had to, like, run through the bit and they're all trying to get you, and you jump onto the wire bit, and that was quite exciting. Yeah. There was some good sort of stealthy gameplay moments in there, actually. Yeah. Now I think about the gameplay a bit more, I did actually enjoy it.
Well, like, the gameplay is kind of, like, you are right to say that it kind of plays second fiddle to the atmosphere and that. But, like, if anything, like, the atmosphere kind of makes the gameplay, like, even worthwhile. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just want to get out of this fucking place that you're in.
I mean, for me, it was just like a zombie game. I knew I was being chased by these monsters, but I didn't have a clue what was going on because I hadn't really managed to read the subtext or remember. My memory's that bad, so it makes it difficult for me to follow stories because I can't remember what happened 2 minutes ago. What game are we talking about?
Little Nightmares.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
So
anyway, highly recommended game from both of us. Me, McVitie, and you, Thatcher. Seal of approval. Absolutely. Can't wait to get the sequel. I'll be playing it tomorrow. Who knows when you'll receive your physical version in this blizzard situation.
I know, and the worst part is that I've got to actually physically go out and deliver things myself.
You're going to be delivering other people's little nightmares to
tomorrow,
them, and yours won't be here.
No.
You never get to deliver to our area?
No.
Is it deliberate? In case you're biased?
I mean,
deliver ours first.
Definitely be handy if, like, no.
You could just keep them until you get back.
Anyway, it's quite disappointing. I'm not going to be playing that tomorrow, absent some miracle where it actually arrives.
I will be playing it tomorrow, but I won't be able to remember
it. What I could do...
What a waste.
What I could do is download the demo and start that tomorrow.
Is it your progress continue over? Like?
I would hope so.
I would doubt it.
You never know.
So you said The Little Nightmares was made by a Swedish developer.
Mm-hmm.
because it was published by Namco.
Published by
I've seen a lot of Japanese names in the credits. The credits seem to go on forever.
Yeah. But I can't remember what they're called, but if you Google them...
Have they done any other games previous?
Let's find out. So, they're called... Oh, fuck. Tarsier Studios.
Oh, no, that does ring a bell.
And the previous games, and they worked on the Little Big Planet series for the PlayStation Vita. But
The Vita one?
That's
the best Little Big Planet game.
They'd worked on that one, seemingly. And
what was it not Sumo Digital that made it as well? But I'm not a big Little Big Planet fan.
No, me neither.
But the Vita one, I actually enjoyed quite a lot. I would recommend that you give it a go. Good fun.
I'll give it a look.
So they helped make that?
Yeah, apparently. I'm not really sure in what capacity. But
anything else?
Not.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Lazy, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings us to the end of our Little Nightmares discussion.
Yeah. And
maybe have another discussion soon about the sequel.
I hope so.
Our next, it's a new regular section of the show called YouTube Gaming Legends.
Great.
And for our first YouTube Gaming Legend, it's the Game Wizard, Aaron Kosharsky.
I'm not familiar with his body of work.
I am familiar with his body
of work.
And I think it's time that you got familiar. So what we're going to do is check out some of his body.
It was like $270 or something like that.
So basically, he's got his own shop, as you can see.
Yeah.
Selling used video games and video game memorabilia.
I can recognise quite a lot of the Wii games he's got in the background.
He's got Pokemon
Snap N64
booth.
I think you mean the can whoop ass. Are you fucking ready? I'm Raptor. I'm a motherfucking predator. Waiting for you when you I take you through the forest, lay you like an animal. You're a pig. That's the way you fucking live. You're a wizard running out of mana. You're fucking wasting. You can't. You know
I know why you like this, because it's total cringe.
This is only the first video of Thatcher. Don't try and shut this down like you did the pits.
Finish him, cause it's a flawless victory. You know people wanted you. Fucking superhero. What you?
So Aaron here's wearing his famous orange and blue striped t-shirt, which became a trademark of his.
It's it's like for people who can't see it, it's the Iron Brew colour scheme, isn't it? Like that kind of same orange and blue.
I don't think the people in Israel know what Iron Brew is.
They will. I can only... Sometimes I would have to stop watching because I would feel motion sickness. Yeah.
Which I am getting at the moment a little bit. I would need to look away. But I suppose that's like a train wreck.
Yeah. Put on a different one.
Car crash, you've got to look away.
Yeah, put on a different one.
Heard him rap there, freestyling. He
Yeah.
was reading off his phone. But I'd like to let you hear the theme tune to his show. It's the flea market, y'all. So you can see the characters, their names coming up.
We got your car keys. Aaron is his name. Josh is his...
Well, we're going to get on to some more controversial videos. But he has what could only be described as an extremely toxic fan base.
This has made me warm to him a whole lot more, actually.
is a video someone else has made called Time Life Music Presents the Best of Aaron Kosharsky.
The biggest beats.
Let's do this. California's the type
The talent.
They get on our face so you get erased. You get stars, get on bars.
Lifetime Music presents the best of Aaron Kosharsky.
Effort nonetheless.
Thanks.
Out of here. Got a real disgusting one for you tonight.
What? Drinking milk jizz?
He likes to stick his nasty dick in. He fucks
What?
in the shower. Just when his wife won't put out for him, which apparently is quite often these days. Anyway, on this stream, he was paid money to pour some nice cold milk inside his sex toy and take a drink of it. So,
In frame. Keep it in frame.
Come on, just shoot that shit. Let's
Yeah,
go.
do it. Like a shot. Get it out of the way. Up. Up. Keep it in frame. Keep it in frame.
Okay, this was a bad idea. This was definitely a bad idea.
This is like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Alright, bringing it back in the frame. Don't lose
Right,
it.
skip it. This is the last one, yeah.
No, there's one more after this. This is a palate cleanser.
This is my story. And I'ma tell it how I want.
I like to drink juice.
All this floating.
Floating nuggets.
Oh!
Oh, I don't want to show poop.
But you're still at water. They still have room. Josh, why? Oh, look.
Oh,
Slowly eating away at the.
the flies.
Oh, wait a second.
It's like Resident Evil, eh?
Are you still recording?
Shit.
Fuck. Oh,
Dude, like, I've seen episodes of or... Alright, so this was the tour of the house. It's a lot worse than I thought it was gonna be. I thought this was gonna be funny.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's
It wasn't.
No.
This was gross.
2 times, I think.
Well, I don't know about you, but that was an emotional roller coaster for me.
that was something like that was a journey and a half. Yeah, I went through the full gamut or spectrum of.
You wouldn't expect that from some YouTube gaming videos.
No, it's kind of difficult to know where to pick up from all that, really, isn't it?
I just feel like Aaron, at heart, is a good person. I've watched so much of his content, and I think I'm quite good at picking up on whether someone's...
Do you think it'd be fair to say that? I mean, is he, as far as you know, on the spectrum?
Yeah, I get, in some way.
He's got to be.
There's definitely...
He seems like he's like quite easily taken advantage of.
Exactly. So, from the videos, I don't think he comes off as being... They don't leave me a bad impression of him rather than a bad impression of the people around him.
Yeah.
And his comment section's like that as well. But the thing is, he seems like a creative person, and he just wants to be creative. And even though he faces such nasty, he just keeps doing it. And as well, I think that's to do with his mental state as well.
I mean, like, hats off to him. He seems to have like been quite prolific. You know what I mean? He's got his own business and stuff, and he's.
I mean, coming from that house that you saw, his mum's house,
yeah,
that was genuinely disturbing and upsetting, and to be able to make anything of yourself if that's your background.
Yeah, and like not just like he's achieved more than most. Like he's got a lot to be proud of. I would say
That's why I thought when Alpha Mega Sin turned up, he's like a big hero to them, and he didn't turn up and take the mickey out of them. He showed them respect, and I respected him for that.
And like Alpha Omega Sin, and let's be fair to him, he's he's a bit of a bell end, but
he comes across
he comes
like
across
that in
it.
his videos. But that was the thing at the time, as was the style at the time, to be an angry game person.
Yeah.
So he was just another one of the angry game people. And I feel like maybe he stopped making content because he thought, well, this isn't really me, but this is what my audience wants.
Aye. But no, like I did actually think that section was one of the ones that I wasn't watching through my fingers as much.
Yeah, it was nice, especially the part where Aaron showed him his cock.
Yeah, that was a highlight for everyone, I think, involved. But we've got we've got to talk about the house. Like, the house was horrible. You likened it to something from Resident. Like, it totally did remind me of like the baker.
When he opened the fridge and all the cockroaches ran out.
Yeah,
I'm sure that happens in Resident Evil.
It does. But that's what it was like, and just like, oh god, it was so horrible. It was so horrible.
And you could tell Scott Squatch, he felt bad and even responsible somewhat because he's a friend and the squalor that these people were living in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not his fault, but you could tell that he thought this isn't going to look good. But the video's been up for years. It's still up there online for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And as you can see, Aaron wasn't upset about it.
Yeah, links in the description. Not that I recommend that you watch. What was the other one? Because that one was the most recent one. The
flashlight one.
The flashlight one was that's it. I thought, oh God, I must have blocked that from my mind. That was
bullying, wasn't it?
That
Where
was
they like coaxed him to drink milk from his own flashlight without cleaning it. Now, I don't know if we skipped it forward. It started off, they offered him £1,000, but then it went down to 10.
Like $20, and then I don't know how much because we skipped
I doubt
it.
they even gave him anything in the end.
No, but that was just mean-spirited and horrible, and I don't know who the other people involved in that were. But
that's quite common for his channel, and it's quite common on the internet where people prey on.
It seems to be like this is something that I've noted before, like that. I've described it as like the kind of whiff of desperation from like a lot of these YouTubers and that literally their life becomes so kind of dependent on it that there's another example of this. I'm trying to think. There's loads of examples like that have been covered on things like Down the Rabbit Hole and that, like the kind of rise and fall of YouTubers and that, and like, do you know what I mean?
To me, it's like that Sonichu.
Yeah, that's what,
where people seem to think it's all right to just make fun of someone who's clearly got mental problems.
Yeah.
And it's not.
No. So I went from like saying I don't think I'd recommend the channel and that. I mean, I certainly didn't like the kind of format of the videos or anything, or like that kind of stuff doesn't interest me. People going about buying games with like shaky footage, like maybe as part of a larger video where they sit down and talk about and discuss and then show footage of the games that they've bought. But he doesn't do any of that. He doesn't do any of that. I haven't seen a single game.
He does sing and rap.
Oh God, that is something else, isn't it? Jesus. But again, you've just got to admire him for just doing it, even though he's fucking terrible at it.
I wouldn't say he's terrible. It's an acquired taste. that song's got a lot of views now, and rightly so. So anyway, Aaron, if you're listening, keep it up.
Don't.
There's a lot of love coming from these two guys.
You do you. Don't let the fuckers get you down.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure his mum doesn't live in that house anymore.
I hope that house has been burned to the fucking ground. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Like, that's going to be. I'm going to struggle to sleep tonight. I'm serious.
Or they could maybe use it as some sort of like live Resident Evil attraction.
Like an escape room. Oh my god,
like a
imagine getting
walkthrough.
locked in that and you've got, oh fucking hell. That's so horrible. Let's not dwell. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, so on to our next section. Recommended small channel of the week. Which is, it's another new one for you, Thatcher.
Yeah.
You've never seen Russ Lyman before.
Russ Lyman.
Another diamond in the rough.
Are you gonna throw a video on?
Yeah, we're gonna experience Russ Lyman together.
Let's do it.
Thank you. It's almost Halloween. You know what you're going to be?
Is it all like this?
Enderman. The main character's named Harry Potter.
Sorry, I did hear that.
You know what I'm going to...
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
How long is this?
It's only an hour long.
The warehouse.
Just an hour.
It is an hour.
Around the warehouse.
It's actually an hour.
Play some games.
We're not watching the whole thing.
Look what it says. Short,
Fun,
fun.
family friendly.
Family friendly.
So far, it's been none of those things. Remember that I'm supposed to help recommend this channel. Is it fair to say that you quite like it when YouTubers try and make films?
Depends if it's Russ Lyman or not.
This is the worst thing that I've watched in quite some time. I want you to know that.
So bad it's good though.
No. The dead pixel in the middle of the screen. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. Didn't see it.
Rewind it. Do you want me to rewind
I
it?
don't think it's really worth it.
No, it is. There, you see it?
No?
There.
Where?
Dead
Now it's
pic-
back. I can't unsee it now. It's
I
like
know it's all I can see.
I never even noticed it. I've watched this loads of times. You've ruined this for me.
But it's off centre. It's horrible. It's like
Aiming up a bit.
it's moving. You're gonna have to comment on this video and point out the dead, or have a look at the comments and see if anyone else has mentioned the dead pixel.
No mention of the dead pixel in the comments section.
No.
If someone mentioned that on mine, I would delete the comment.
I can't say that I enjoyed any of that, but I'm sure your recommendation will be strong enough to make.
Well, let's check another video from us.
Is this like more traditional format, or is this another?
Being in the dating game is hard nowadays.
Tedious.
Let's face it. And it's not where most of us want to be, but here I am. I'm 38, hardworking and passionate at what I do. I make cakes during the day, and after that, well, I have plenty of hobbies. Where do I even begin? I do YouTube and make fun videos, hence the one you're watching. I'm into video games, just a bit, can you tell? And yes, I do drive that car every day. It's my only ride. The outdoors are great, and I love spending time there, going running at the beach to stay fit, or hitting the mountains for a hike to catch a view. It's just something about the fresh air, that sense of freedom you get. It just makes me smile, so if you see me out and about, you'll know why. And I love music. I play guitar and sing, and even in my own band, Saturday Matinee. So, maybe if you're lucky, I could sing you a tune sometime.
Please
What
don't.
am I looking for? Friends? Something more? I have plenty of friends, and I'm sure I could always use some more, but I want someone to be there for me, support me, be my player too. I don't have any kids of my own yet, and I would hope to start a family someday. It's a dream many have, of course, but it doesn't make it less special to me. I like to find that person, someone I can look forward to coming home to, someone to take on the next adventure with me, to beat me in a round of Mario Kart, or just stay in and watch TV for the night. How does the saying go? There's plenty fish in the sea. Well, my search continues, so if you know someone who might find me interesting, or even you yourself are intrigued, well, feel free to contact me. Till then, the search continues, and my princess remains in yet another castle.
He makes a compelling case for himself, don't you think?
Well, I'm too far away. I've got a girlfriend, but I like him a lot.
Any more videos from this dude, or
Well, we've not seen any gaming videos from him yet.
That's true.
I mean, the thing is, normally I like the game review videos. But in today's show, it's something a bit different. And it's the thing I like about YouTube is you get to know people. Like, they're gaming channels, but they end up, it's more about their personality than some channels you watch for the games.
Yeah.
Some channels, it's the personality of the host.
I'll grant you.
It's like reality TV, in a way.
You were always a bit more into reality TV than me.
But I feel like I know Russ. Especially after the dating video.
Yeah.
But he does do game videos as well, but it's more your pick-up videos and stuff like that. I don't think that's really your cup of tea either, is it?
No, not particularly. How many subscribers does he have?
He's got 7.35.
All right. Which again is comparably small compared to other channels.
You haven't heard his theme tune that he sings himself. It's just short.
Okay.
And that's what he's most famous for.
Right.
Everyone loves his theme tune, including me.
It's gonna have to be good to beat Aaron. What's his name?
Kosharsky's rap.
All right.
Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out.
There you go, what do you think?
Yeah.
What you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out.
I'd love to hear a collaboration between Russ and Aaron.
Me too. Keep the beat going and then drop a rhyme.
I wonder if there's a mashup that could be made.
Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Let's find out.
Right, that's enough.
What you doing? Russ, what you doing?
Sing it.
Russ, what you doing? Let's find out.
Beautiful. Right, no, seriously.
Sing it.
No.
Sing it.
No.
Sing it.
No.
Russ, what you doing? Let's find out.
So, Russ Lyman, Des Lynam,
Les Hyman,
Russ Lyman makes me smile every time I see him or hear him sing or talk.
Yeah. I'm not entirely convinced.
You're on the fence.
Yeah.
I find that people that have don't have a heart, they don't tend to like Russ Lyman, whereas caring, empathetic people do.
Right, okay, maybe I need
So that might explain that.
Maybe I need to work on my empathy a little bit and then revisit Russ Lyman.
No, I'm just saying, I don't feel sorry for Russ Lyman.
I mean, he's dating video. He seems like he's lonely. Maybe he does need a little bit of sympathy.
I'm sure he's not hooked up. Anyway, Russ Lyman, get subscribed. Ladies, check out the dating video.
And generally just avoid the Halloween thing.
If you like homemade movies, check out there's other ones. There's Halloween special, Christmas specials. There's lots.
If you like homemade films where every single shot will annoy you in some way, then watch Russ Lyman Saves Halloween.
Rude. So, on to our next section of the show. It's Young Yes Controversy of the Week.
Yay!
But this week, in a twist, Young Ye's not upset. His knickers aren't in a twist. And what we're talking about is the Mass Effect bum controversy.
So for the benefit of our viewers, listeners even, who might not know Do you know what the Mass Effect bum controversy is?
We don't mean bums in the sense of American tramps.
You would say but.
If you're American, it's the Mass Effect but controversy. Now, what happened here was they're shortly to release a remastered version of the Mass Effect games. Have you ever played Mass Effect games, Thatcher?
I haven't played any of the Mass Effect games. I'd been hoping that this remastered collection would be coming to Switch, but doesn't seem to be.
Not announced as yet.
Not announced as yet, no. Which would give me the perfect opportunity to...
I'm not sure if I want to play it or not. It looks kind of annoying. And like the people that like it are kind of annoying as well.
Well, like I like sci-fi kind of settings and stuff like that, and like I'm more into action kind of RPGs than ones with turn-based combat and stuff. Like, I think.
Plus, there's 3 games, and each one's like really long, isn't it?
Yeah, but they are meant to be like really compelling.
You'd probably need another lifetime to play them.
But I mean, I don't mind like investing time in a game if it's good, you know.
So the controversy is, they've some parts of the game it used to focus on a woman's bum or butt, and they've changed the camera angle so it doesn't focus on the woman's bum or butt.
And people have got their knickers in a twist about this, but
Man-
not young. Yeah, not young.
And the man babies of the internet are up in arms.
Because
where else are they going to see a woman's bum or butt?
Well, I mean, if you're wanting a depiction of a digital depiction of an alien woman's bum
or
then
butt,
I don't think you're going to be limited for options. Let's say.
But Young Yes says it's fine and it's good. It's like a parent talking to their children. Like when a baby cries and the parent picks it up and rocks it gently back to sleep. Young Yes soothed the man babies on his teat, suckled them onto his teat, and
rocked them off to sleep.
And he assured them that this change was for the better because the woman is talking about her sister being killed, so focusing on her bum or butt at that point in the story.
All right, this doesn't seem in very good taste, does it?
In bad taste.
Yeah. But do you think the butt controversy is going to put a lot of people off buying Mass Effect remastered?
I wouldn't be surprised. Amongst the young audience, on the Midnight's Edgers, perhaps.
I'd certainly, like I say, if it came to the Switch, I'd totally be on board for it. Maybe if I end up getting a next-gen console, I'd have a look at it on that. But yeah, I don't know why I never played it at the time.
On to our final section of the show, and it's a new regular section of the show called Gondarth's Comment. Last time, was it last time?
It was fairly
sometime
recently,
in the past, we featured, as the recommended small channel of the week, Gondarth.
Well, we love Gondarth.
Resident Thomas the Tank expert.
And home video enthusiast.
Ringo Starr fan. And much to our surprise, he listened to what we were saying and he commented back. And rather than comment back to his comment in words, which would be boring, we're doing it in a new regular section of the show called Gondarth's Comment.
So, like, the idea, I suppose, would be that we would want Gondarth to comment back, and then we could make this an actual regular section of the show, an ongoing conversation,
a dialogue,
if you like, where Gondarth types and we speak.
Because the way he found it was that he googled his own username, so we need to make sure that we include Gondarth in the title
Yeah.
of the episode, and then likely he'll Google his name again
With any
and
luck.
find it
Yeah.
again
Yeah.
and listen.
So are you gonna read Gondarth's comment, and
Oh.
then are we going to interject as we go along, or like how do you want to do this?
Well, we'll just go through it.
Just go through it.
Quite lengthy.
Yeah.
So he says, you know, you Google your username just for the hell of it, and you see this, referring to. Referring to our previous episode where we discussed Gondarth. And he says, to answer a few questions. Yes, I am from Scotland, born and raised since 1993. Now, there was never any question in our minds.
No.
I guess he's just confirming.
Yeah, I don't think there was any ambiguity surrounding his Scottish heritage.
What we were maybe debating was that he was quite close to where we are.
We figured he was maybe local to.
But we're not going to.
Yeah.
We're not going to dox ourselves.
No, or Gondarth.
Or Gondarth.
No.
God forbid.
Gondarth forbid.
Then he says, no, my girlfriend doesn't like Thomas. She never watched it as a kid. She's more of a SpongeBob type.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is interesting, but that I think he's maybe misunderstood. I haven't gone back to check, but I think we were talking about my girlfriend.
Yeah, because your girlfriend is the female Gondarth.
She's the female Gondarth.
Because she's a train enthusiast.
Loves the trains. Yeah, I wonder if Gondarth likes actual trains as well as Thomas the Trank.
Yeah, as well as model representations narrated by Ringo Starr.
Perhaps Gondarth could get back to us and let us know if he's a fan of actual trains as well.
And if so, has he ever been to the Bo'ness Railroad?
I've been there with the female Gondarth and we went on the steam train.
Yeah, I mean, Bo'ness is, I've got family originating from Bo'ness, so...
what, are you doxing them?
No. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you've not been... I mean, I think Gondarth will have been, because they do, they dress the train up
as
like
Thomas. Don't they?
So there's no chance that
there's no way that Gondarth's missed that.
I wonder then, what do you think of the Thomas style train at Bo'ness? What would you rate it out of 10? I mean, its mouth, the face doesn't move, so that makes it somewhat haunting when they have a Thomas face that doesn't move.
Yeah, I think they should really up their game, because Bo'ness is famous. You might not know this. It's an interesting fact about Bo'ness. They do a gala every year, the Bo'ness Gala, right? And at the Bo'ness Gala, like fucking literally the whole fucking town of Bo'ness, like
all 10 of them,
like no, there's fucking thousands of them, right? And like they all, like loads of them, like turn their house into like castles and that. Like they like cover their house in like styrofoam and everything, and make these like mad, can turn it into like some mad fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like, and like you go down all the streets and that, and look at all like
what's this called?
It's the Bo'ness. It's like part of the Bo'ness Gala, and like people turn their houses into all kinds of weird styrofoam creations.
The female Gondarth has mentioned this to me in the past.
And then they have like a big gala day where like literally the whole fucking place is out, and it's like, and they have like a big parade. All these like floats, can like again, are really kind of well made in that, and like. Basically, the point I'm getting at is Bo'ness doesn't have an excuse to not have a moving face for their Thomas the Tank Engine.
Some sort of animatronic.
Yeah, because they're very creative there. You know, the whole place puts a lot of effort into.
I kind of think it might actually be more freaky if you had a moving Thomas face.
No, I think it should talk and it should talk and everything, shouldn't it?
That would scare the shit out of me. If the train started talking to me, and you've seen probably how kids react to like mascot characters at Disney.
Yeah,
they're terrified.
A giant train. You don't want to be scaring children near railway lines. That's actually quite a good point.
Yep.
Anyway, I think we've
back to Gondarth's comment.
Back to Gondarth's
He
comment.
says no, he's not in a band because he does play the drums. We were saying that playing drums is mostly a hobby at the minute. Haven't played with other musicians in a long time. He's created a couple of songs, but they're god awful, and you don't want to hear them. It's tough to judge your own creations though, because quite often you're your own worst critic.
Absolutely. I'd certainly be interested in hearing Gondarth's musical creations.
He goes on to say, I do talk a lot about Thomas and Friends, not proud of that. The Singing Kettle and Disney, but my favourite review topic is anything Cartoon Network related. I lived on that channel back in the late 90s and 2000s. I was practically a zombie slave to it. No, but that was, I guess Gondarth's a bit younger than us, isn't he?
Yeah, born in the 90s, so 12
I
years.
mean, I never even had satellite television.
No, not until a lot later. Just the 3 channels, just the 4 channels for me.
Yeah, Songs of Praise.
Blue Peter.
Songs of Praise.
Yeah, Grange Hill.
The Antique Guy.
David Dickinson.
Oh no, fictional.
Lovejoy.
Lovejoy. I'm not going to read the next bit that Gondarth's written here. I don't think that's appropriate.
I mean, he has posted it publicly on the. So I mean, he's not ashamed of this. Like, this is the best bit. You can't cut. If it's the bit that I'm thinking.
He says also, I know you said Lion King porn as a joke, but I kid you not, my fiance and I actually joked about making Lion King porn.
Now this is interesting.
That's interesting.
Do you not think like Gondarth's been quite candid with us there about his desire to make a Lion King porno?
I mean, I'm sure there's one out there.
Yeah.
I would stick to Thomas the Tank Engine, not porn Thomas the Tank Engine. Just the normal.
And if anyone can come up with a good porn name for like a Lion King porn, you know what I mean, like a play on words involving the Lion King, do leave it in the comments, in case it ever happens.
He goes on to say, I don't talk about her a lot. I'm a believer in personal life not belonging on the internet.
Okay, well, maybe I should have thought about that before before you commented on a video.
But he then says, but we're just a couple of mental cases.
Oh.
So then he says, also, never marathon The Simpsons. That was an exhausting 6 weeks for me.
I admire his dedication.
Well, Gondarth, if you're listening, how's the snow?
Yeah.
It's quite bad for us at the moment.
At least a foot and a half.
At least a foot and a half. Well, that takes us to the end of what can only be described as a lengthy episode of the Golden Syrup podcast.
Yeah, although it might not be that lengthy once I've edited it.
In which case, you could edit that bit out.
Yeah.
Or leave it.
Yeah.
But from me, McVitie's, and you, Thatcher, it's good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.